the book Business School, The Business School for People Who Like Helping People by Robert Kiyosaki. This is an amazing book on entrepreneurship, but more specifically, leaning into why Robert Kiyosaki, along with many other rich people, successful people, endorse the industry of network marketing. Understand this, guys. This is huge. Rich people build networks while poor people look for work. So this chapter is very, very important. I'm going to spend some time here. I'm going to read more through this chapter than usual. Bear with me. It's some good stuff. So there's only one way. There's more than one way to become rich. Here's what Robert Kiyosaki is talking to his teacher. Can you teach me to become rich? I asked my teacher. No, my biology teacher replied. My job is to help you graduate so you could find a good job. But what if I don't want a job? What if I just want to be rich? I asked. Why do you want to be rich? Asked my teacher. Because I want to be free. I want to have the money, the time to do what I want when I want. I don't want to be an employee for most of my life and don't want to have my life's dreams be dictated by the size of my paycheck. That's nonsense, said the teacher. You're dreaming about the life of the idle rich, and you can't be rich if you don't have good grades. Ooh, how many of us heard that before? And a highly paying job, said the teacher. Now get back to your frog. It's ironic because we just read the book, Eat That Frog. But anyway, in the other books and the educational programs, I often refer to the three different types of education that are required if we want to be financially successful in life: scholastic, professional, and financial education. So we're going to go over this real quick. I'm not going to go in deep, but I'm going to read more than I usually do. Scholastic education. This is the education where it teaches you how to read, write, and do math. It is very important education, especially in today's world. Personally, I did not do well with this level of education. I was a C student in most of my life simply because I was not interested in what it is being taught. I am a very slow reader, and I do not write well. Although, as a slow reader, I do read a lot. And one of the key things here, as a C student who can't read well, can't write well, but became a #1 seller in books, Robert Kiyosaki. One of the things I've learned is the average wealthy person is a C student. They hire the A students. Not to say that A students can't get rich and become business owners, but that's the average statistics. All right, professional education. This education teaches you how to work for money. During my youth, the smart kids went on to become doctors, lawyers, and accountants. Other professional schools teach people how to become medical assistants, plumbers, builders, electricians, and automobile mechanics. If you look in the yellow pages of your phone book, that tells you how old this book is. There are no longer yellow pages. Isn't that crazy? If you look in the yellow pages of the phone book under education or schools, you will find those pages filled with schools that teach people professions that help them become more employable. Personally, since I did not do well in the first levels of education, the scholastic level, becoming a doctor, lawyer, and accountant was not encouraged for me. Instead, I attended school in New York where I became a ship officer, selling ships such as the tankers of Standard Oil, similar to the Love Boat. Let me scroll down. I had two professions. One was a ship officer and the other was a pilot, but I never really used either of them to make money. On the side note, I think it is ironic today that the skills I am most known for is writing, a subject I failed in twice in high school. So that's the professional education, becoming a doctor, a lawyer, a mechanic. Those are those professional educations. Those are on the high end of the W-2 spectrum. But then financial education, let's get to the meat and the potatoes here. See, a financial education, this is an education where you learn to have money work for you rather than you working for money. This third level of education is not taught in most of our schools. My poor dad thought that a good scholastic and professional education was all a person needed to be successful in the real world. My rich dad said, if you have a poor financial education, you will always work for the rich. Ooh, let me make emphasis to this. If you have a poor financial education, you will always work for the rich. Let that sink in. RichDad.com is very best to create products that teach the same financial education my rich dad taught me. Basically, learning to have money work for you rather than have you work for money is what we need to focus on. A financial disaster. This is very important, guys. And then it's going to talk about the ways that you could become rich. We're going to jump right into that. In my opinion, the United States and many Western nations have a financial disaster coming. A financial disaster caused by our educational system's failures to adequately provide a realistic financial education program for students. As most of us unfortunately know, we did not receive much financial education in school. True. And in my opinion, knowing how to manage and invest money is very important. It's a very important life skill. Recently, we have seen millions of people lose trillions of dollars in the stock market. In the near future, I predict the financial disaster because millions of people born after 1950 will not have enough money for retirement. Facts. More than important than money for retirement is the money for medical care. People don't even think about that. I often hear financial advisors saying your living expenses are going down after you retire. Lies. What those financial advisors often fail to tell you is that after you retire, that goes up and your medical expenses, even if your living expenses go down. My poor dad believed that the government should take care of anyone who did not have money. While in my heart, I agree with him, my financial mind wonders how our government can afford to provide for the millions of people who will soon need financial support for living and medical expenses. By the year 2010, here we are beyond that, today is 2023. The first of 83 million baby boomers will begin to retire. Wow. My question is, how many of them have enough money to survive once their working days are over? And if millions will need billions of dollars to survive, are the young people of the world willing to pay for the living expenses of the old? Whoa, that's a good question. In my opinion, it is imperative that our school systems begin teaching financial education as soon as possible. Learning how to manage and invest money is certainly as important as learning how to dissect a frog. Guys, I'm gonna go into ways to become rich, and we're gonna go through this and we're gonna wrap it up. This is gonna be a longer video. I'll be done within that 15-minute window. All right, so here's a statement. Building your own business is the best way to become rich. After you have built your business and you have strong cash flow, then you can begin investing in other assets. I need y'all to hear that. Build a business that creates cash flow, then build and invest in assets. People are doing it backwards. They're investing in assets that they don't own, and they don't really have the cash flow. They're wishing and hoping for future cash flow. That's not how it works. Build your own business is the best way to become rich. After you have built your business and you have strong cash flow, then you can begin investing in other assets. Right now, your number one asset is you, Inc., your business. The other ways to become rich Rich Dad said, because so many people do not have an adequate financial education, they come with many interested ways of becoming rich and then building their own business network. For example, millions of people try to become rich playing a lottery or working hard and saving money. And some people actually do become rich using these different methods. He also said, if you want to become rich, you need to find a way to become rich that best works for you. The following are some of the other ways that people become rich. Number one, you can become rich by marrying someone who has money. I'm not going to go into details for the sake of time. Number two, you can become rich by being a crook. Number three, you can become rich by being greedy. They spoke of Enron. Number four, you could become rich by being cheap. Number five, you could become rich via hard work. Now, I think I need to read into these. The problem Rich Dads had with hard work was that he noticed that hardworking people often had hard times enjoying their money and their lives. In other words, hard work was all they knew. They did not know how to have a good time. I lived in that life, working hard for a bad income. Rich Dad also still taught us that his son and me that many people work hard for the wrong kind of income. He said people who physically work hard for money often work hard for the wrong kind of income that is physically worked for its highest tax of all, using your hands. You got to use your mind. All right, let's move to number 6. You can become rich by being exceptionally smart, talented, and attractive. Or number 7, you could become rich by being lucky. Number 8, you could become rich by inheriting money. Number 9, you could become rich by investing. And number 10, you could become rich by building a business. Building a business is the way most of the rich became rich. Bill Gates built Microsoft, Michael Dell built Dell Computers. The problem is that building a business from scratch remains the riskiest of all, but it has the highest payout. The difference between building a big business owner and a small business owner, and it talks about the 11th way of becoming rich. See, they have big business and small business. And I'm rushing, trying to stay in that 15 minutes. I apologize where I sound rushed. You have big business and small business. The difference between big business and small business is big business leverages networks. You have small restaurants, small gas stations, or what have you. But when you have restaurants like McDonald's inside of a network, they smoke them all. And then it talks about you could become rich by building a network marketing business. The reason I put network marketing business as the 11th way of becoming rich is that it is a very new and revolutionary way to acquire great wealth. If you will quickly glance over the first 10 ways of becoming rich, you may notice that the focus is self-centered, focus on who becomes rich. In other words, it might be seen as a greedy focus. For example, someone who tries to become rich by being cheap is a primary focus of themselves and maybe a few family and friends. Someone who marries into money is definitely focused on the money for him or herself. Even in big business, when franchises came out, they made it possible for more people to become business owners and share the wealth. But in most cases, franchises are reserved for only the wealthy. Therefore, I am not saying these people are bad or greedy. I'm simply saying that in most cases, the focus is not on a lot of people becoming rich. The focus is on individuals becoming rich. A network marketing business is a new and revolutionary way of making folks wealthy. A network marketing business is a system that is also called personal franchise. It is a very democratic way of building wealth. It's about helping other people. Guys, this is huge. The next chapter we're going into is the values. Value number 1, true equal opportunity. Let's get with it, guys. Take charge.